She is linked to a killer.
I was afraid of success, like you said. I needed to get my head on straight.
Have you ever had that nightmare where you're running for your life?
Tell me, of all the ladies in this bar tonight, which one do you think is the most evil?
Justin, Eric, Nathan, and Joseph, tell us what to do.
From Nightmare on Elm Street 4, Sheila, and you're listening to Hysteria Continues.
And indeed you are. Welcome to the Hysteria Continues. 75% of us here again this week to bring you a, well, it's my choice, but it's very much channeling Nathan Johnson, I think. You may notice we are missing Mr. Justin Kurzweil, who is sick. Although I did point out to him earlier, he wasn't sick enough that he couldn't make derogatory comments about my underpants, but he's too sick to actually be on camera and speak to us today. So, yeah, he's avoiding Mardi Gras Massacre.
I think he is. I thought to myself, we should have called ourselves over the last few episodes of the Hysteria Continues because we're missing the Rhea.
Yeah.
And I think Justin has the Rhea. If we were to take his text at face value.
Yeah. So poor Justin is very, very ill. And using my psychic powers, I think he'll be missing on the next episode as well.
Oh no.
Is that your psychic abilities?
We've recorded the next episode already, and he was sick for that one.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes.
I forgot.
Yeah.
We've gone back in time. We're in the past, technically.
We have. What's on your t-shirt today, Nathan? Everything something.
Everything is fine.
That warped smiley face tells me different.
Yes.
Yeah.
I actually bought this right after the house got destroyed.
Oh. And Joseph, you're looking fine with your sunglasses with the yellow frame.
Well, I was trying to be colorful for like the Mardi Gras theme, but maybe it's more like jaundice because of Justin.
Oh, right, yeah. You shouldn't. I told you not to kiss Justin. Nothing good can come from kissing Justin Kurzweil. Okay, so should we get straight into Mardi Gras Massacre?
Yeah, sure.
Remind me, do we play a trailer?
We do, and I haven't really researched a trailer yet, but we'll have something.
New Orleans, Mardi Gras, masks, and murder. The Mardi Gras Massacre.
Homicide.
Beautiful women are dying, and so are the New Orleans cops. As they battle a bloodthirsty madman, a masked monster, Mardi Gras Massacre.
This is the blurb from the back of the original UK VHS, which became notorious as a video nasty back in the early 80s. The colourful Mardi Gras carnival will soon be underway, but a sinister murder creates a feeling of fear amongst Clubland's prostitutes when one of them is discovered horribly mutilated. The police investigate but cannot prevent the next death, so similar to the first. Sorry, I'm reading this blurb, but it's from a very blurry JPEG, so the words aren't that clear. So the police investigate but cannot prevent the next death, so similar to the first, and they suspect a ritual killer is at work. As the carnival takes to the streets, amongst the crowd is someone who plans his greatest sacrificial offering yet. And they certainly aren't lying on the blurb when they say that the next death is so similar to the first, because that's probably at the core of Mardi Gras Massacre, is to show the same rubbery torso getting sliced open with a knife. But what I loved first of all, and I'm really sorry that Justin is missing for this, but the first thing I noticed in the opening minutes of this film was that you have this guy who goes into a brothel looking for the most evil whore. Now, who could possibly know where the most evil whore is located?
I think it's someone who's not here today.
Yes, it is. It's you, Justin Kurzweil. If only you were here. Yeah. So yeah, this is my first time watching Mardi Gras Massacre, a film I'd been familiar with for a long time because, as I said, it gained notoriety over here as being a video nasty. And the only thing I really knew about the film going in is that you guys kind of warned me that it's kind of the same scene, maybe repeated 3 or 4 times, the same kill scene, and a pretty weak plot surrounding that as well. Yeah, so the police investigation subplot really kind of reminded me of Drive-In Massacre. The whole film gives me a Drive-In Massacre vibe. You know, both films focus heavily on cops. Both of these very long, drawn-out scenes shot in single takes with one camera. You know, scenes that should, in a better made movie, maybe take up a minute, and here they take up 4 or 5, and both have a real 70s grindhouse-y vibe to them. Now, I know a lot of people hate this film, so I went in with very low expectations, and I think that was the best way to approach it because it was considerably better than I thought it was going to be. Like with Drive-In Massacre, you know, it's quite talky and static, but it's still, to me, miles better than something like Axum or Hollywood's New Blood, and even more polished films that I really disliked that we've covered, like Club Dread and the dreaded Fella Day. Yeah, exactly, Nathan. It also it really feels like it was shot in 1978 and released in about 1982, but it really feels like it was made about 1972. It looks really dated, even for a 1978 production, I thought. I mean, I don't know if I was watching an extended director's cut or something, but the version I watched was 97 minutes long. You know, there's barely enough in there for a 60-minute movie, I'd say. So the movie is way too long. It just goes on for far too long. And that's probably its biggest crime. It just, you know, there's a lot of scenes that could have been tightened up. Like the scene where they order Chinese food, it just goes on forever. And there's, you know, a lot of downtime in the movie. There's a lot of montages. Sherry and Frank walking around town. Frank and the beardy cop walking down the streets and talking to that hyperactive tap dancing guy. And, you know, there's lots of exotic dancing as well. But there are lots of things I really liked in the movie, a surprising amount actually. I mean, I do like the really gory scene of the hearts being removed, even though it looks incredibly phony and really rubbery. But it was kind of a sort of real fun moment to watch. I liked when they're having dinner with the witness, and she wants to order some really posh wine. I don't know. I'm not a wine expert, but she gives them some 1974 blah 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 from the French region, whatever. But the cop turns around and says, no, give her a bottle of Blue Nun, which was Blue Nun a thing for you guys back in the 70s and 80s?
I've never heard of it.
Blue Nun was a very popular but trashy budget white wine, I think it was, over here. So that made me chuckle. The action scene, and I use action in inverted commas, where the guy smacks the girl in the restaurant and the cop intervenes. It's so hilariously hokey and stagey. And I was obsessed with these 2 extras in the screen who are sitting on the table in the sort of bottom left of frame. They're sitting there completely motionless. They're not even pretending to be looking at a menu or pretending to be talking to each other. They're just sitting there staring into space for the entire runtime of this scene. And I thought that was incredibly funny and weird, and it kind of added a little extra element to that scene. I mean, there's other fight scenes in the film that I thought were great. The fight in the alley with the pimp and the exotic dancer. But for me, the pinnacle of the fights was in the disco, where 2 girls are fighting over a guy and they're kind of rolling around on the floor, Joan Collins Dynasty style. And I imagine, Nathan, that was the high point of the film for you as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I liked that beatnik pimp as well, who I think he's called Catfish, and he speaks in rhyming couplets and says bop bop a doobie doo bop a lot. And the killer, there's something kind of Bela Lugosi and really old-fashioned about him with his line delivery. He stares wide-eyed a lot and says things like, "Are you sure you are really evil? And I want you to lay down on a special type of bed." It was just so old-fashioned, and it's like he was in a 1930s Universal movie or something. I thought the actors who work in the Chinese restaurant, they're certainly giving the shopkeeper in Nail Gun Massacre a run for her money in the line delivery stakes. Because it's not. He has a very small but pivotal role in the film. But his line delivery, maybe English isn't his first language. Let's just say that. What struck me about the plot, though, is there's so many witnesses to this guy going into these places and picking up his victims. And he's talking to people. They see him walking out with these women who end up dead. And why can't anyone apprehend him earlier? I mean, they have to rely on, he has a ring, that's his only identifiable feature, but so many people see him. It's like, I know they didn't have the forensics that we have of today in 1978, but still, Jesus. There's a great funky police TV series type score to this film as well. It's really not scored like a traditional horror film at all. And I thought that was kind of fun as well. It felt like, a late 70s, early 80s cop TV show, Glenn Larson production. So when I was looking into reviews of the movie, I saw Bleeding Skull did a review of the film, and they called it a fever dream of a movie. And I suppose it kind of is, but its plot mechanics are quite straightforward. It's nowhere near the out there vibe of Boarding House or Nightmare Weekend, but it does have kind of an elliptical plot, and you really do have to suspend disbelief that the police are, so inept and have no idea who the killer is, even though, as I said, people keep seeing this guy picking up all the victims. So I suppose it was kind of akin to like an ambient horror that we have nowadays, like In a Violent Place.
Nature.
In a Violent Nature, sorry. Yes. Except that it's unintentional here, I think. I think they were just padding things out to get to an acceptable running time, and they could have lost a lot of that padding, in my opinion, but I was pleasantly surprised that there was kind of lots of fun to be had amidst the 97 minutes of sort of low budget silliness, I suppose. Is it worthy of the video nasty? I suppose the gore it's gory but very unrealistic. So it's quite sparsely sprinkled throughout the film as well. So I don't think there's any need for it to be on a video nasties list, if I'm honest. It's not exactly what's the most notorious one, I suppose, for violence? Oh, something like Cannibal Holocaust. It's not that level. But so it's a mid. Justin's review gave it 2.5 out of what's Justin's star system? Is it 5? Yeah. A 2.5 out of 5. So I would probably do the same. It's a kind of a 5 out of 10 movie for me. So Nathan, I think you might be the most enthusiastic person about this film. I could be wrong. I don't really know, but what are your thoughts?
I'm fairly enthusiastic about it. I mean, you guys have heard me before talk about how I don't like it as much when they follow the police aspect of the slasher movie. I don't really care about that aspect of it. But I mean, I just find the whole movie to be utterly ridiculous. I don't know what Sherry sees in Frank at all.
Oh,
I don't think there's anything likable about this guy. He even hits her. He's just a horrible person.
He's wearing a wife beater when he does it too.
Ironic. She could, I think that, she could do better. And because Frank, I guess, is kind of portrayed to be the hero, but I don't find him to be a hero at all. He's just, like you said, that he's kind of inept at his job, and then he's a horrible boyfriend. So he's just a bad character all the way around.
And he steals money from the victim of one of the first victims.
That's what she gets mad at him for.
Yeah.
Because she finds out he did that, and then he's all acting like there's nothing wrong with it. So, I mean, yeah, so not a great guy. I do agree with you, Eric, in that we have this, the killer, and he will literally go up to people in the bar and be like, I'm looking for, basically the most evil prostitute or whatever like that. And the bartender will point him to somebody, but then later the police don't talk to this bartender, or the bartender don't offer up any information. Like this weirdo
Yeah.
guy literally like took her home the same night she was murdered. I mean, we're not dealing with brainiacs in this film. It's a lot of ridiculous people, because there's the one woman, I can't remember her name, but she's the one that they do the whole Chinese food thing with. And, like you said, the scene goes on for a while, and then he kind of has second thoughts. Like, he doesn't want to do it, and he keeps telling her to leave. But like, I've just never seen anybody so determined to die, because the guy's weird right off the bat, like, that. And then he's like being especially weird and like yelling at you to leave his house. But no, I don't know. I just felt like she gave her so many outs, and she chose to die instead. And like in the same way as we've said, like all the other victims, because he always slices their foot. Like, it's always like the first thing he does. The effects where he rips open their chest and gets the heart, I think those were so much fun. And I especially love, there's at least one moment where the camera pans too far and you actually see the end of the latex appendage on screen. So you could tell, and we know he hasn't cut her body in half, because they do the long shot, and we don't see that she's been cut in half. But yeah, you see the end of the latex. It's really funny to me. It's sort of like in Sorority House Massacre 2, when you literally see the ketchup bottle off the side of the screen squirting blood in inverted commas on the wall. So I love stuff like that. So, that's probably a reason I really love the movie. And I feel like I kind of agree that 95 minutes is probably too long. Slumber Party Massacre is a feature-length movie, and it's 77 minutes. I think that Mardi Gras Massacre could have been even better if they had made it more like 80 minutes or maybe a little under kind of film, because, there are scenes that I think could have been trimmed and would have made it, better edited, I should say. I love the pimp hippie character called Catfish. I thought he was hilarious and completely ridiculous, which means he fits in the film very well. I love the spoiler alert, the evil continues ending, where he steals, and now this is going to make the cops look really bad, because the killer steals their cop car when they're chasing him, and then drives it into the river or whatever.
Yeah.
And, you think he drowns, but no, they don't find his body. So he's still out there, probably asking more prostitutes if they're evil enough to be sacrificed. What I didn't get, though, is like, I don't know, there was no real end to his like sacrifices. Like, did they say, and I missed it, like what the end goal was, or is it just random sacrifices to make the god happy?
Is it to resurrect the spirit of the god or something?
Is that what it is? Okay.
I'm not sure. I might have missed that. Or
yeah, I can't.
It's quite easy to tune out in this film.
I can't quite remember, but I do find it to be a very fun movie. It's one of those ones that has artwork that I just remember from my childhood, because the art made me think, oh my God, what is this movie about? It looks crazy. And then I watched it, and it's not really all that crazy, but it's very fun. So yeah, 2 thumbs up from me. I think it's a lot of fun. Could use a little adjustments, but overall, I enjoy it.
Cool. Well, I knew you'd be enthusiastic about it. Joseph, do I need to apologize to you for picking Mardi Gras Massacre, or are you quite happy to watch this film?
Yeah, I was dreading this, but shockingly, I kind of had an okay time with Mardi Gras Massacre this go around. Like you said, it's very repetitive, and at nearly 100 minutes, entirely too long. But the 1978 kind of the Big Easy atmosphere through strip clubs, apartments, police stations, even Chinese restaurants. It's all really charming. And I absolutely loved the convenience with how the police were able to finally track down the killer, not by setting up surveillance in the strip clubs or interviewing hookers or the bartenders, but because a Chinese food delivery boy got a big tip from the killer after delivering dinner to his apartment.
Oh yeah,
I thought that was very funny.
Yeah,
especially when the delivery boy motions for another tip from the detective. He's like this. He's like he wants another tip. And I also love that since the killer is targeting hookers, we get ample usage of the word whore. And I also appreciated that his name was John. Maybe that was on the nose. I don't know, but I like that.
You dirty whore! You're a cheap whore. You whore! Why my whore?
I can't stop the
Erik's horror mega mix.
Once that gets started, there's no stopping.
Yeah. Again, like I said, it's very repetitive, and maybe one of my biggest slasher movie bugaboos is when all the kills are the same, and they are all the same here. He just rips open someone's stomach and pulls out their entrails, occasionally stabbing them in the hand or the foot. And, so on that note, it's not what I would call an effective slasher movie, but the characters, I think they embody the late 70s or like you said, Erik, maybe the early 70s. I don't know. The decor, I mean, that's another thing. You'd think since this is centered around Mardi Gras, we'd get ample use of color, but like Fat Tuesday is talked about more than it's shown. There's no massacre at the Mardi Gras at all, and there are only like 3 colors in this movie to be seen. You get bright reds when people are wearing dresses, and then you get lots and lots of brown and beige decor. I mean, so much brown and beige. It's really quite hideous, and I love it. I loved every minute of that. So, a thumbs up for me. It's marginal. And again, I wouldn't expect any thrills or variety of murders from this if you haven't seen it. And to be honest, I don't know for sure if I'll ever, seek this out again. But, as a humorous time capsule, it kind of hit the right spots for me. So a marginal thumbs up from me.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree. I don't think it's something I'm going to revisit anytime soon. But even though I picked it, I was kind of dreading watching it because I heard its reputation of being a bit shite. But and it is a bit shite, but that in kind of a good way as well.
Yeah,
like Crazy Fat Ethel too.
Well,
you compared this to Drive-In Massacre. I gotta admit, I probably like this a little more than Drive-In Massacre. Maybe.
I don't know. I don't know.
At least this one has a bit of an ending. They find out who the killer is in this one, for starters.
Yeah, Drive-In Massacre does kind of have that ending that, just kind of tells you nothing.
I also think, for what it's worth, I think the production value in Mardi Gras Massacre is probably slightly a little higher than Drive-In Massacre. But,
I will say this. Justin, he is at home sick, but I feel like I might have heard him say that he prefers Mardi Gras Massacre to Halloween.
That sounds like Justin.
Yeah.
I think he did. He actually said that to me as well.
Yeah. He said this was actually like superior to John Carpenter's classic. I mean, I don't know that I would agree, but he's entitled to that opinion.
Yeah. Well, this is
what he said. He loves Toya.
He did say he loved Toya as well.
Oh, yes. I forgot about that.
This is what he said on his Mardi Gras Massacre review. This is just the opening paragraph. So this slab of grindhouse was rescued from obscurity by its place on the infamous Video Nasties list in the UK. It is a thoroughly terrible but strangely mesmerising low-rent gore epic that combines throbbing disco and throbbing pulled-out hearts. A smooth-talking, bug-eyed Lothario with a penchant for evil ladies slinks into New Orleans nightlife to pick up sex workers to sacrifice to an Aztec god. A polyester epic that's a real snapshot of the sleazier side of the late 70s, but not without a slice of humour. Often inept, but occasionally hilarious, intentionally and otherwise, and accompanied by a surprisingly rousing disco funk soundtrack. So yeah, he gave that 2.5 out of 5, and he said, P.S. I love Toya underneath it, he said.
Interesting he put that in the Mardi Gras Massacre review.
Yeah, and he also said, P.P.S. I'm a big gothic whore.
Is the most evil gothic, right?
Yeah, the most evil gothic whore. Yeah, but as you said, like Mardi Gras Massacre, it's not really it's Trades Descriptions Act wouldn't allow that because it's like Jason Takes Manhattan. There's not a lot of massacring at a Mardi Gras in the film, just like there's not a lot of Jason in Manhattan in Jason Takes Manhattan.
I think this might be a worse offender by a long shot, though. You know, at least Jason does go on somewhat of a rampage through New York.
Yeah, because the title would make you think he's there with his machete running through the crowds of parade people and spectators, and
that would have been epic.
It would indeed. So, anything else we want to say about Mardi Gras Massacre?
I might have called it Hooker Massacre, because that's kind of what he does, more so than goes to Mardi Gras.
Evil Horror Massacre.
Yes. Do you know how many people would probably rent that?
I think a lot would.
Evil Horror Massacre.
One, and it's you.
Yeah, Nathan.
I would rent it a lot of times, though.
Yeah, that's the thing of the past now, is it rentals. So you'd want to get in your time machine for that, Nathan. So background. Nathan, do you have any background for us on Mardi Gras Massacre?
No.
Yay, it's back. Joseph.
Well, actually, I do know that the Mardi Gras scenes were filmed at Mardi Gras.
Oh.
The IMDb told me that.
Wow.
It's great trivia.
Because I thought they'd spent about like $150,000 restaging a Mardi Gras parade.
Me too.
Joseph, do you have anything?
No.
Well, I got a few things that I've cribbed off of Hysteria Live's website and Wikipedia, my two favourite websites. This was released on UK Home Video in July of 1982 on the Gold Star Duran label, and it was later reissued on Market Video, but it was banned on the 28th of November 1983. And it says on the front of on the UK sleeve, it says an American splatter movie. Just so you know what you're getting. I think the title kind of gives it away, though. Jack Weiss, who's the director of this, according to IMDb, he was a location manager on Live or Let Die. Live and Let Die. It's Live and Let Die.
The Bond movie?
Yeah, the Bond movie.
Wow.
He also directed a film prior to this called Crypt of Dark Secrets, which sounds like something Justin would like. Again, I wish he was here.
I know. He's missing all of it.
Yeah. Laura Mish, who is the first female victim in the film, she was a Playboy Playmate of the Month in February 1975, and in an article, a magazine article in 2005, she said, "I'm sure you've seen me in Mardi Gras Massacre, having my innards cut out by a guy wearing an Aztec mask. One of the worst movies ever made. I'm proud."
Oh, I like her.
Yeah. And Ronald Tannett, who plays the detective, he remembered a revival screening where people were coming up to him and said, "Oh, you're one of the stars of this movie. It's the worst movie I've ever seen. I can't believe I spent $4 to see this movie. It was horrible." So he apparently reached into his pocket and gave her the $4 back.
Well, she had no idea how lucky she was paying $4 for a movie.
Yes. Now, Justin, in his background, said that it was released to drive-ins in North America in late 1982 and into 1983, often playing support feature to films like The Unseen, Just Before Dawn, and Slumber Party Massacre. There's three double bills you would have enjoyed, Nathan.
Oh my gosh, I totally would.
I mean, can you imagine watching this before those movies? You'd be asleep before you get to like Just Before Dawn.
They must have seen, like, I know it's only 4 years since it was made, but it must have seemed so dated because things like Slumber Party Massacre were quite modern, very modern at the time. Let's see, what else does he have? So a reporter called Arthur Cabassos from the Abilene? Yeah, he went to a screening on the 12th of December 1982 and he said, "It was so bad, the cameraman also was the writer, director and producer." He noted the not so special effects. When they showed the girl's nude body squirming in pain, the close-up shows the jagged edge of the plastic torso from which the fake heart has been removed. That's what you just said, Nathan. You could see the jagged edge of the plastic torso. As if that weren't hilarious enough, each girl has a different size heart, with one being about the size of a melon. Oh, wow.
That's a big heart.
Yeah, the Herald Express newspaper exclaimed, "If your kid has seen Cannibal Ferox or Mardi Gras Massacre, maybe you deserve everything that is coming to you. The only person who does not deserve it is the child." Ooh. The There is a novel released in 1978 with the same title as the movie. It's by Lionel Derrick, and it's part of the Penetrator series. Ooh. But it's different to this. It's about a Vietnam vet fighting crime and corruption. But there was actually an actual novelization of Mardi Gras Massacre published in 2024 by Brad Carter. So there we go.
I can't believe anyone would want to novelize this movie, but wow, more power to them.
Yes, and then they walked around New Orleans. They talked to a hyperactive tap dancer. Then they walked again, and they walked some more. Music was playing in the background. That would be my novelization.
Yeah.
Joseph, what did anyone on our social media say anything about Mardi Gras Massacre?
Yeah, we got a couple of comments. This one says, watch this on Tubi for the first time when you announced it was going to be the next episode. The languid pacing could generously be interpreted as a reflection of the laid-back approach to life that defines the Big Easy. But I doubt that much thought went into it. It does work as a fascinating time capsule of late 70s New Orleans sleaze, complete with a rhyming, air keyboarding, playing camp pimp, a mugger who dresses like Andy Capp, and vintage Star Wars and Elvis posters for sale. The scenes in the killer's sacrifice room have an almost Lynchian feel due to the red lighting, weird sound effects, and impromptu dancing, and the police elements make it feel like a very dark episode of Wiggum P.I. at times, complete with a reference to Big Daddy. And that was from Frank C. Frank B. and Frank A. did not write in. This one says, I've seen worse, and whilst not as entertaining as the movies of H.G. Lewis, at least the maker makes no apologies for what he made. For an ultra no-budget slasher film, the kills are at the very least amusing. Good setting to boot. And that was from NZ Horror Fan. And this last one says, the most evil girl in the room is Erik for picking this. There's no reason this movie should be an hour and 35 minutes. You could cut 15 and it would still be too long. Blood Feast told the same story in under an hour. The kill scenes are all the same and boring. Outside of some wacky dialogue and delivery, not much here to love. And that was from Jason Rader Jr. So thank you guys for writing in.
In my defense, I was kind of bullied into choosing this by one of our listeners in the last and a couple of podcasts ago.
Yeah, so blame him, whoever that was.
I wasn't really bullied, but I was trying to think of I've kind of run out of films to pick, really, so I'm picking ones that I've never seen. And this happened to be one of them.
I was fine with it.
Well, of course you were.
Of course you were. Okay, I think it's time for we all had a little treat now, don't you think?
Make us laugh.
You know what's coming.
It's my joke of the week. It's so great and fantastic.
This is great. You're going to love this. I'm thinking of making a joint sequel to Slaughter High and Mardi Gras Massacre, where the killer from Slaughter High goes on a rampage whilst high on marijuana. It's called the Mardi Gras Massacre. Mardi Gras Massacre.
I appreciate the incorporation of a wonderful plant.
Yes, because the word gras is like grass, except it's pronounced different.
It's funny you say that because when I was talking to Wes about it, I kept saying I'm going to watch Mardi Gras Massacre because I like pronouncing silent letters.
Yeah.
Like if it's knife, I like to say knaf because I just like to. So, yeah, so he was correcting me a lot, but I'm still going to say it that way.
Yeah.
On the show, I said Mardi Gras, though. I was trying to be professional.
And we're nothing if not professional.
Yeah. Suede have a song. Suede, you know the band Suede?
Yes.
They're called the London Suede over there. But they have a song called She, where Brett Anderson says the word marijuana.
Oh, okay.
But I think he's saying it still. He's saying it tongue in cheek, I think.
Suede, is that trash?
Yeah, which I played out on consecutive episodes, I think, on the show.
Oh.
Recently seen. Nathan, have you seen anything recently since we last recorded, which is 3 days ago?
No.
Joseph, you saw something. I know you did.
Yeah, I watched Good Boy, the haunted house movie where the POV is from a dog. I loved it. I mean, I absolutely loved it. It's got a lot of effective, creepy moments from the point of view of a dog, but it really reminded me of something like Skinamarink or In a Violent Nature. You know how the POV is kind of, you don't really get any exposition or didactic dialogue. In fact, the human characters in this movie are kind of obscured, like a Charlie Brown cartoon in a way. So their voices are kind of like either echoey or kind of in the background or soft hush tones. So everything, like the entire point of view is from the dog. And I don't know, it's just I really found that very clever and unique. It's a really cool movie. It's like it's also only 73 minutes long, so it's not asking you to spend too much time, absorbing all of it. So yeah, I mean, it's a very unique movie. Maybe not rewatchable because it's not really like, I wouldn't call it a popcorn thriller. It's more of a mood piece, in my opinion. But I really did enjoy it, and I thought it was very effective. You saw it too, didn't you, Erik?
I did, yeah. I watched it too on your recommendation because I love In a Violent Nature. So you said I might get a kick out of this one as well, and I did. I really enjoyed it. As you said, it's more of a mood piece. It's told, yeah, everything is the camera is always sort of at the dog's POV, so you never really see the faces of any of the human characters. You do occasionally sort of see the odd profile shot or something, but for the most part you just see them from kind of the neck down or just their feet or something. And it does have special effects, like there is sort of ghostly shenanigans going on, which I appreciated. And I could kind of see where the conclusion was going. It does have an ending, unlike maybe something. Does In a Violent Nature have an ending? It kind of, it has that prolonged ending with Lauren Marie Taylor in it.
In the truck, right?
Yeah, that's kind of puzzling. But this one has it has more of a narrative, I would say, than certainly than Skinamarink. Now, Skinamarink is one that I watched once in broad daylight with kind of a glare on the screen, and I think that probably wasn't the best environment to be watching it in. I think.
But I have to say, overall, it's a thumbs up from me. I would possibly give the film maybe a 6 out of 10.
Did you hit play on something?
Do you know what that was?
Is that Justin?
No, that was my joke of the week jingle. For some reason, is 4 minutes long, and there must have been when I played the top of it. There must have been about 3 minutes of silence, and then so this bit at the end. I was like, "Where's my voice coming from?" I thought that was what I was saying about Mardi Gras Massacre about 50 minutes ago, but no, that must have been recorded about 3 or 4 years ago. Yeah, so sorry about that. You can edit that out. We're
talking about Skinamarink and Good Boy, like they're haunted kind of movies, and then that voice popped up. I was like, what the fuck?
I know. I was like, oh my God, I'm getting feedback from somewhere. Yeah, Skinamarink, I'm intrigued to watch it again. I didn't like it the first time I saw it. I think there was not enough incident for me. I do like the premise, though. I really was intrigued by the premise, so I might give that one another go. But I thought Good Boy was great, and again, 73 minutes, as you said. I mean, the makers of Mardi Gras Massacre could learn a lesson from that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I would recommend it. I think, Nathan, Nathan, you're a dog lover anyway, so I think you'll like it.
Okay.
And spoiler alert, nothing happens to the dog.
Okay. Because I'm going to have to look up spoilers, because if, say the dog died at the end, I wouldn't watch it.
I don't think it's a spoiler to say that, but you're okay. If dog lovers are okay to watch this film, I think.
Okay.
Wouldn't you agree, Joseph? Yeah.
Yeah, something about the movie, though, like, I think seeing some of those creepy images from the point of view of a dog somehow makes it even creepier because there's no human like explanation in the way of the creepiness. It's just creepiness. So yeah, it's really effective.
Well, and the dog can only do so much, I imagine, to warn his owner.
Yeah.
Can't talk, so...
Well, the owner is suffering from an illness I don't think is ever explained in the film. You can kind of guess what it is, but so he's kind of preoccupied with just feeling miserable and ill all the time. So he kind of is ignoring the dog's sort of pleas for, come and investigate this spooky noise I've just heard. Anything else you've seen, Joseph, apart from that one?
No, I think that's it.
I saw the new Running Man, directed by Edgar Wright, which is the of course, it was filmed in 87, but apparently drastically different to the original novella by Stephen King with Arnold Schwarzenegger. This is apparently more faithful to the original novel. It's not a horror. It's kind of a dystopian future. It's not even sci-fi. It's just kind of dystopian future kind of thing. I thought it was pretty good. I can't remember much about the original, but I think I enjoyed the original one more because I think it was more of a popcorn, silly 80s popcorn movie. Can you remember much about the original, Joseph?
Oh, yeah. I've seen that movie more times than I care to admit. I could probably quote it to you right now. I haven't seen the remake, but from what I'm reading, it seems like it takes itself too seriously, and maybe it's something that it's kind of like... It's trying to be timely when that whole, Big Brother is doing this and everyone is a piece of entertainment. We've already kind of known this by now, so it's kind of, maybe it's past its sell-by date.
Yeah, it was much better than slashers. I'll give it that. But no, it is good. It's one of those films like the Mad Max films where it just feels a bit too kinetic, and it's too much of a chase movie for 2 hours, where I think it could have done with having a bit of a breather from time to time. I know there are people out there who love the Mad Max films, even like the Road Warrior I'm iffy about, because I just think there's too much going on all the time that it just doesn't do anything for me, unfortunately. But I think it's getting good reviews, The Running Man, so I'd give it maybe a 6 out of 10, I would say.
Well, I know it bombed at the box office.
Did it?
Matter of fact, I think it might actually even be on Amazon. I could have sworn I saw, like, you can rent this for $19.95 now. I'm like, wow, that was quick. I could be wrong, but it seems like I saw that.
Yeah. Well, films are coming to streaming really quick these days anyway, aren't they?
Yeah.
Even if they hit it big.
Yeah, because sometimes they do that. See it while it's playing in theaters for $20. So they do it like a special, I guess.
But I want to watch it in my pajamas.
Just that movie or any movie?
Any movie. Well, I don't know. If there was a cinema nearer to me than there is at the moment, then maybe. But I'm just not arsed going into the city. You know, I remember going to see Tron Legacy, and I didn't have my motorcycle at the time, so it took me an hour to get into town on the bus. Then about 20 minutes to walk to the cinema, then watch the film for 2 hours, and then the same journey back. So it was about a 6-hour trip to see this movie, and the movie was shit in the end. So it was like, I've wasted half a day.
Yep.
And money.
I could have been watching Crazy Fat Ethel 2 instead and having a great time.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I would prefer.
Yeah.
At least it had the decency to stay at an hour, because it knew that was enough time to tell the story.
That's true.
Okay, I think we've reached the end of the show.
I think we have.
I mean, it's a short one today because we're missing, of course, Gothy Gotherson.
Well, I think it's my turn to pick next time, so I wonder what I'm going to pick.
It is. I wonder what it could be.
I have no idea.
Well, for everyone out there who's not dealing with sickliness and time travelness, we are going to be talking about, what was that called again? Wow.
It's a Wonderful Knife.
Yes.
With our special guest,
Bill Ackerman.
Okay, and today it was actually announced that Bill and Amanda Reyes have done a commentary track for the original 1979 Salem's Lot.
Yeah, I saw that.
Which is coming out on Blu-ray in March in the US and the UK on Arrow Video.
Well, what are we playing out with, Eric?
Okay, well, I thought we'd play out... I was looking for songs related to Mardi Gras and New Orleans, and one that popped up that I love, and Justin would probably hate, is Iko Iko by the Bell Stars.
Whoa, I love that song.
Yeah.
It's on my playlist. I listened to it earlier, actually.
Cool, we'll take that one, Justin. So sorry, yes, I keep forgetting that there's nobody else here to say goodbye to the good people, so let's all say goodbye to... You see, I just assume that there's a Justin there, but he's not here anymore. I'm adjusting to the fact there's no Justin.
Adjusting to Justin.
So say goodbye to the good people, Nathan.
Bye.
Joseph.
Bye.
Bye.
Look at my king all dressed in red.